Welcome to BakaCon 2022.
Whoop,
BakaTaka, episode number 473, season 15. I'm your host.
Those are vastly different numbers than what Aaron said earlier today.
Jeff. At the end of the table, we have
Jaxon.
And in the middle,
It's me!
we have actually nothing to talk about. I don't watch baseball anymore because the Nationals suck.
Just watch the Orioles. They're also local.
I'm not watching baseball, period. I'm not even playing Super Mega Baseball 3
I
anymore.
don't think we care about baseball, Ben.
Well, he cares about baseball. He just wishes his team was
Yes,
better.
I'm very disenchanted about baseball right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to be romantic about baseball when you give away the entire team twice.
And then beat the team you gave away the team to.
You know, I'll take it, but I don't even know who's on the team anymore. Hernandez.
Corbin.
What's the Nationals record right now?
41 and 80.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vomit in my mouth too.
That
So,
hurts.
but yeah, we're at BakaCon 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody from the Peanut Gallery give us something to talk
Yeah, we
about.
need
Because
something to talk
we,
about.
we actually have no
Throw us-
ideas.
I have
Throw
nothing
us
to
a
talk
bone.
about. We've already talked about
At
movies.
the Mountains of Madness.
Okay,
You
we're
guys have really cool shirts.
silence in the peanut gallery.
I like your shirt, Jackson.
Thank you.
You want to tell us about your shirt? What is your shirt?
It's the Wade Martin fan club T-shirt.
Okay, so
So-
I know what a fan club is. I know what a white man with a neck beard
shirt
wearing
the guy
a fedora.
is wearing on my shirt. The guy on my shirt is wearing a shirt. Zoomerang.
So he's
Vacation
a,
Bible school.
So he's a Zoomer.
Yeah, he's a Zoomer.
That looks suspiciously like.
It's not him though.
Okay.
It's not? Who is it?
It's Wade Martin.
Okay.
Oh.
Tell us more about Wade Martin.
That makes sense.
He's like Australian and stuff.
You Australian?
See, he's not Australian, so you can't say it's the same person.
Though, no, that was New Zealand. I was going to say your parents went to Australia, but that was New Zealand, wasn't it? Oh,
Did they?
So he could have been from Australia.
Maybe
Yeah, I know,
Maybe
they went
when
before
he went
George
to
was
Australia,
born.
the timeline split. So we have Wade Martin and Aaron in the same.
They never came back.
So
yeah,
you're
that-
telling me that Wade Martin
So you know how in like
is
the,
Aaron
No.
from a different universe
Yeah,
that
yeah,
got
it's a different
here
timeline. So you know how,
for
like, the
VBS.
Legend, you know how in like the Legend of Zelda timeline it like forks off in like 3 different directions. That's basically what happened in real life.
I'm gonna let you know this right now.
He doesn't-
Never
yeah.
played a Zelda game.
But you know what you have played that we have not played together, but you have played that I have also played. So most of my life right now, because I have a small child and I work,
Lame.
is wrapped up in Bluey, Puppy Dog Pals.
Bluey is great.
Bluey's amazing. Puppy Dog Pals
Haven't seen that.
is okay. Most of the other stuff Disney makes is kind of garbage, but the old stuff is good. Bluey isn't made by Disney technically.
But it is on Disney Plus.
I have been playing, have played, and beaten Elden Ring.
Still haven't beaten it.
Have you not?
No.
I have, I think, officially done everything in a playthrough. So what's my build?
Yeah, what build you go?
Jacked everything. I did the
Big
Mogwin's-
sword?
So I did the Mogwin's Palace rune runs before it got nerfed in the 106 patch.
That
so
means nothing to me, but
My
continue.
dude's soul
He got
level
a
is
lot
like
of money.
300
He got a
something.
lot
So
of
I
money
can do every
fast.
build. I can do every build. But
But
I've
which
been-
one did you go
I
with?
have been rocking most of the game dual katanas.
So you're basically doing what Eric did.
Moonlight. You did the same build.
So you have Moonveil.
Moonlight and
Meteoric Blade.
It's not called.
I just did Moonlight Katana and then Staff.
Okay.
Oh, there's a Moonlight Katana and the Moonveil?
I dual wielded the Moonlight Katana in the right hand and the Meteoric Blade in the left hand. And I just hack and slash dudes up. I jacked my health up really high because I was going to get hit all the time. And I'm like, it doesn't matter how much defense that I have. 3 hits, I'm going to die. So I just hit things as hard as I can until they die.
Yes.
I've currently got a bow build going with Eric and Big Cat.
So
Typically, it ends with me doing a whole lot of nothing while they smack.
So my bow is the backup when I can't fight things up close and I have to fight things far away. But yeah, it was a fun ride.
So my Elden Ring experience, my first build, and I went like 75% through the game without upgrading vigor, and I started as the
yikes.
sage class. So it was literally like
You were probably getting looked at by crabs later in the game and dying.
if anything, like I had to play through the entire game. If anything hit me, I fell over and died. So I was just all blue flasks, and just like it trained me to dodge. But there was like some fights where it's just like, oh yeah, there's a big AOE now, and like
You are just
can't
going to
dodge
die,
this.
yeah.
And it's like great. You get
Yeah.
the one bubble tier, which lets you like tank one hit. So 2 mistakes.
So later in the game, you can actually craft with perfumer bottles. I think it's like a silver or something. There's something you can do and craft to where you can make that buff yourself, so it doesn't have to be in the tier thing. So I had like 9 of those stacked that I could make, so I could tank hits a little bit easier. But I still died in like 4 hits.
Well, I got like 75% through the game, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna go back and restart the game just because I love the game.
That
And then
was
I'm like,
interesting.
I'm just gonna use fist weapons. I'm just gonna go punch things to death.
I haven't
And
used-
I'm gonna actually upgrade vigor so I don't die in 1 hit.
Yeah, so it's you got to get vigor to like 60 regardless, and even then you still die in 3 hits to everything later in the game.
I
It
don't know what
sucks.
my vigor's currently at.
60 is good if you can get it there, but you can do with 40 to 50. But I would recommend 60.
I want to say it's
Yeah, don't be at the end of the game.
I
with
think
9.
around 60 is like the soft cap, and then most
Did
people.
so they moved the soft caps
I don't know.
like well, I guess it's not a Souls game, but in every other Souls
It's a
game,
Souls game.
past 40 stats drastically got a decrease.
So
in,
I
like,
think it does in
value.
this one too, but it's still I think significant enough when you get in the 50s and 60s for vigor that it's worth getting health. But at some point it
Because I
isn't
knew
worth
like in
getting
More
every,
health is
in
always good.
every
More health is
build
good.
on the original Dark Souls and stuff, you would just stop at like 40 strength, 40
Yeah.
dex. I don't know what vigor ever got to, but you didn't need it to be that high.
Yeah, usually, I mean, I think there's enough difference between like 40 and 60 to make it worth the 20 level jump, but
Does it have New Game Plus?
it does have a New Game Plus, but I would wait on going into New Game Plus because apparently
go
we're going to
get
get
the
DLC.
pizza.
What a man.
So unless you want to do the DLC and New Game Plus, then hold off on
Do we have any idea
becoming the Elden Lord.
do we have any idea when the DLC is coming out?
So historically,
Also, when it does, I'll just start it.
the time periods have been
I'm gonna play.
they
this game
they
through, like, a
think
million
8 to
times.
9 months after it was released, and it was released in what, March, April of this year. So they're thinking the end of the year, but it's a crapshoot. We don't really know.
Can your computer not play it first then? Like,
Yeah.
It,
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
You have the
it
same
wa-
laptop as Erik.
It wasn't
No,
because
so
of his
there
computer.
was
though.
some sort of bug with the game where it just doesn't recognize graphics cards. So it literally
Hello?
didn't recognize my graphics card.
Well, no, but the thing is, Elden Ring was almost like.
Yeah.
A lot of streamers are pissed.
It was something else though, because 2 people could have the same exact computer,
Yeah, because you have
but
the
have
same one Erik has.
but have a completely different experience. Like
Yeah.
there was just some.
Oh, you
there
know,
was some tick in the.
I wonder if it's the easy anti-cheat that does it, because when
I-
it runs,
I-
it does weird things to
all I remember
people's
seeing
computers.
is looking at the patch notes for when they were trying to fix it, and they're like, "Yeah, there was this problem where it just wasn't recognizing people's graphics cards." I was like,
That's a big
Cool.
deal. No wonder everything
and
ran
then
like a
af-
toaster.
after that patch, it's been fine ever since.
Interesting.
I was kind of sad because Jared, I wanted to play the game. I've always wanted to play a Dark Souls game with like somebody else, and nobody, not really any of my friends.
I
are
don't have
super
any
in-
friends that want to play the same game as me.
Never asked.
Play with me, guys.
That's what I just told him earlier.
But then
PS4,
you,
Dark Souls 3. I definitely did.
Did Jared play with
Because I
you?
was
I
definitely.
never finished Dark Souls 3.
I didn't either. I got to the first boss and I'm like, I want to play something else. I just never went back to it.
I don't
Yeah,
know what boss
so
I
I
got
was
to.
my boss's kid. Every
sick.
time
Hunter.
he's 6. I thought he was 5. Anyways,
Maybe 5.
But-
Is his name Trent?
oh, I
Trent.
don't know.
You're right, you're
I was just not name dropping.
Does he have
It
a kid
doesn't
named
really
Hunter?
matter. No.
No.
He has one boy. named Trent.
But every time I come home from work now, he runs outside and begs me to come inside and play Dark Souls with him. And so every time I get paid, I'll go in there. Like the weekend is coming up or whatever. So I go in there, play Dark Souls. He's in the same exact spot I left because he's 5 trying to play Dark Souls.
That's funny.
And-
That's adorable.
Every time we unlock
His thumb's not big enough to press in.
I actually got him.
Can't auto-lock.
He refuses to learn to roll, which is kind of a
That's
problem.
kind of a big part of the game.
Yeah,
But
so in
like-
the tutorial, he still gets killed by the rolling boulder down the steps at the beginning.
I will force him to try the boss before he just throws the controller into my lap and does barrel rolls across the room. He's like, no, you do it. But he beat the Deacons of the Deep by himself.
I don't know who the deacons. Is that in Dark Souls 3?
That is Dark
That's
Souls
why.
3.
Okay.
It's a boss where it's just a bunch of normal people.
It's,
Like,
yeah,
it's
Oh, is it kind of like the
similar
rat
to-
dudes in
It's like
Dark
the
Souls
rat
2?
dude. Yeah.
I
Okay.
never
But
played
it's-
Dark
it's
Souls 2,
church-
but I was gonna say
you're
it's
beating up
similar to
churchgoers.
the Academy chick.
Oh, Ray Lucaria?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Similar
yeah.
to that.
Okay.
But
That
yes,
was a
Yes and no, but
looking for specific things.
Yeah, but I mean they're normal enemies basically.
Really just like 100 dudes. crammed
yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say I kind of understand because every time we beat a boss, it gives you a trophy, and so I'm looking at the trophy every time we unlock one. And it's like beating the tutorial boss, and it's like 86% of people have this trophy. And I'm like, I can see that not a lot of people have gotten far in this game. So Pontiff Sullivan, which is like halfway through the game, half of the people have already quit.
And you also have to remember a lot of people might buy the game on like sale and
Yeah.
then maybe start it and then never go back and play
Yeah.
it.
Me, everybody
Yeah, right.
who owns Steam.
So that happens a lot.
I was gonna say that happens a lot, but the way I would math it out is like you take the tutorial boss, which like 80% of people, so at least 80% of people started the game,
Right.
and then take out of that percent what percent got to the next boss. It's just interesting to see.
Yeah, so maybe like half of the people.
But I get it. Like,
But that's
if
also
you don't
only
like
on
it, if you don't like,
PlayStation, though.
it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be that they can't get past that part. It could
That's
just be
just-
that they got bored and stuff. Like I could see that the games are clearly not for everybody else because, I mean, they're my favorite. Like my favorite franchise is anything from Software.
Cool. You should play Armored Core then. Yeah, you're probably like, what?
No, I know I've played everything from Software past Demon Souls at least to a certain
Okay,
degree.
so when
But
they
I know I'm not gonna go play like Ninja Blade and stuff.
Okay,
I could play Ninja Blade,
that's fair.
but I'd have to go find it.
Gotcha. But yeah, it was. I think I officially logged like 130 hours on my playthrough, but I literally did. I think everything. Like I think the first 20 or 30 hours, I literally just wandered around. Like I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just gonna go wander because it's open world, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
now I'm gonna go follow progression guide because I don't know what I'm doing after Stormvale Castle, and just kind of went from there.
Yeah,
Worst part was still Caelid. That just absolute garbage area of the game.
Caleb?
Eric didn't like it either, did he?
Eric?
We skipped around a lot. 'cause big
Yeah, we did a lot of
Just go through
skipping.
this, I'm like, I don't know why we're doing this.
There was a lot of that.
Okay.
It's messed up that one of the chests you can open in the world launches you into.
Yeah, at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Yep. I think
And
that
I did that
You can
once.
skip to the end game area at the start. There's a chest that takes you to the snow.
to the yeah.
But
What?
Yeah.
it feels weird as that's a choice. Like they have the lakes locked behind the first like main boss of the game, but you can just wander straight into Caelid, which is like way farther scaled.
I
than
wonder.
the
I wonder.
next
if
two
they're
areas.
peppering that stuff in for like the speedrunners. So like, hey, we don't want you to break our game, so we're gonna break it for you, kind of thing.
They did it because mimics weren't fun,
And this still isn't fun.
so they had to put a different mechanic.
But
to
you could
track
spot
chests.
you could spot the difference between like they have different textures. They put
The
and
mimic
they put like
chests?
clues. For
I'm not
the
gonna
chests to
lie
be
though, I
different.
still smack every single chest.
I didn't in this one. Once I found out there were not mimic chests anymore, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna do it.
I didn't know that until just now, so I was still just smacking.
Getting a
Hitting
chest every
everything.
single time.
One of these days a mimic will pop out, and I won't be the guy on the other end of the stick.
They should have just thrown one in there somewhere.
That's funny.
That would be great. It's a secret boss. That's just a chest.
I did not like Caelid a whole. I just didn't like the biome of the area, and
No, it's
I
not that
got
fun
to
an
the
area.
point in the game where I started to despise any time I would have to go into a catacomb because you would have to fight those stupid dog things.
The
This-
little
this-
gargoyle things?
Yes, I hate.
Those are the most annoying.
Oh,
enemies
yeah.
those little
in
So-
the entire
guys.
game.
So, one of my complaints with the game, which I get in game design, but early enemy games are almost the exact same as late enemy games. They just hit harder,
Yeah.
and their attack varieties change a little bit in the things that they do. Those dogs suck because they'll just like stun lock you and then bleed you, and it's like, I died. There's 2 of you, 3 of you
Four?
did 1 attack, and I just died. This is what happened.
Yeah.
My favorite was the like 4-armed guys that are in cages that are just walking around that just go crazy. Because I always just continue trying to attack them like an absolute
Oh,
moron.
yeah.
And they're just like, I don't care about you. I'm just going to hit you 5,000 times and kill you.
Yeah, that was one of the things I didn't realize I had to do was keep around a strike weapon that was moderately upgraded, because you would eventually find the guys where it's like, my katanas are just bouncing off of you.
Yep.
I literally cannot do anything, so I
That's-
should probably keep a weapon that actually can affect enemies.
That's the thing. I've been going through the game with just the Castus, and
Okay.
literally everything takes moderate damage from that. It's
Yeah.
like, well, the first time I played a sorcery, and I know sorceries are OP, but then I played. Is that what? What kind of type of damage is?
sorcery.
Not bludgeoning. No,
what?
the Castus.
Case?
I think it's strike.
Okay, I was gonna. Well, I think I've been seeing actually things online about
fact
strike.
check. Fact check.
Case this, what kind of damage
I
it is.
know I
in
have
Elden
been
Ring.
seeing things on the internet.
Because I want to
about
say it's
strike
because I want to say
being
it's
the
strike
best.
damage. Yeah, I mean it's just
best
I don't
damage
think
strat.
anything like block. If you go up and actually do a melee attack on things, I don't think there's much in the game that resists it. But
I'm making the game a little bit easier for myself then on accident.
Those are kind of fun, though.
Bows are fun. I always kept around the horn bow as my backup when I needed to just hit thing.
I
I've
will
got
be doing
the,
a bow playthrough eventually because I
holy
do want to every
bow.
Souls game.
I think I'm using the pulley bow and some great bow. I don't remember which one it is.
I always have this weird fascination with great bows in Souls games, but whenever I try them, I'm like, I don't like this.
It always ends
I'm always
up like that.
let me try again, and I'm like,
Well, it's
and I'm like, all right, I don't like this.
well, it's kind of interesting because
Is it strike?
Okay.
Yes, strike, endure, FP9.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting because the golden great arrow. I think it's the golden great arrows. When you shoot them, you give a buff to your allies that are around your target.
Oh, I didn't play with other people, so
That's
I didn't.
interesting.
Yeah.
But you can summon things.
Oh, speaking of golden great arrows, I also had to keep around holy pots all the time because eventually I would run into skeletons. I'm like, okay, I get it. You're not dying. How can I make these things finally die? I'm like, oh, you throw the
Just
holy
smack
pots
them while
up.
they're on the ground.
Yeah, I know, but it's just you throw one
But
holy
then
pot at them and they're
there's
done.
a few necromancer guys.
Yeah,
Or just kill the necromancer.
I
or
love
the
doing,
snail.
I love
Did
doing.
you get to the snails yet? Yeah, there's like ethereal kind of enemies that you would fight and kill that aren't skeletons. They're like normal enemies in the game, but they're ghost looking, and you would kill them, and then they would just respawn. And then you have to find the snail that's been summoning them.
Oh, the summon. I think
Yeah, literal
I think
snails.
they're
I'm
actually
like,
just called summoning
okay.
snails.
Yeah.
And like some of them are behind illusory walls and
Yes.
stuff. So you're just like, oh, infinite
Yeah, there's
spawning
one
enemies.
catacomb where you walk through like a river area, and there's 3 of these snails, and they all have summoned like a crazy enemy each, and you would like fight and kill them. It's like, okay, and then it came back, and I'm like, where are these snails that are summoning these enemies? And I'm like, only these kind of games where I need to worry about killing a snail. But anyway,
I like to do challenge runs in like
Oh, yeah.
all the Souls games, and I think Elden Ring is really going to kickstart my career off because there's so many different things you can do. But one of the things I always do is like the bow build. Great bows, they're way too slow.
I mean,
You just gotta have
just-
people that
way
run
too
in
slow.
front of you.
They did add the. What do you guys think about the
summoning
the
bell?
summoning stuff? Because I know a
I've
lot of people are
hardly
like,
ever
I
used
will
it.
never use
So-
it because I want to have the experience. There's some people like, it's in the game, so I'll use it.
so
Some people are like,
I'll
try the boss by
I
myself.
had
for a bit.
always used it only because there's some bosses where I'm like, this is stupid. I need to get this damage off me. Like later in the game when you get to up in the Hagla tree. What's her name?
Melania is the girl. Who
Yeah, Melania's the girl who.
Malik is the
Malachi.
god.
Yes, it's
Blade of Mikola.
it's Radigan's.
They have so many
sister.
similar names.
Yeah.
They're like.
Fact check who
there's-
Radigan's sister or daughter is.
Yeah, Radigan's daughter.
But
her
that
brother is
yeah,
Radagon
yeah.
or
So
whatever.
so it's
like,
it's the brother of Radigan, I think. But
I haven't gotten to that part in the game, so I'm
It's the girl
lost.
who killed General Radon and infected him with the Scarlet Rot.
Yeah.
When you fight her,
I'm pretty sure they're related. I don't know. They named
I fought her, and I'm like, I can see why the internet seethed so hard over this boss.
I thought you
'cause
couldn't summon for that because
You
you'll
can.
just hit it and then heal off it.
You can, but if you summon the mimic tier,
Okay, yeah, the
and
mimic,
you
yeah.
use the right weapon.
Okay, the mimic
so
tier,
so
I
I
guess
so I
that's
cheesed her. I didn't fight her the right way, but I think that was the one boss of the game where I'm just like, this is. I need to summon something because if I went in there and just tried to do this myself, if I don't perfect dodge roll all of this, she's just going to heal herself when she hits me and take all my junk.
I simultaneously love and hate the mimic tier because makes the game fairly trivial because it's very, very strong.
It's
But
good.
2, I love it because it's so unique in the fact that you can, you basically get to dress up your own spirit and throw
Right.
it out there. Like even things you can't use.
So
you just-
I didn't really use
make builds,
I didn't really use the
essentially.
mimic tier until later in the game. Most of the game I used the headless Lithul, whatever her name is. The big jack person with no head who's got the
Oh,
spear.
yeah, yeah.
I used that one
So it's
most
like
of the
the
game.
darkness
And
head.
then when you got what was it, Black Knife Tishy, I used him a lot.
can't remember any of
And then
their
there's a
names.
couple bosses where I use summon spirits that summon like multiple dudes at one time because I'm like, this is stupid. It's get away from me. Go hit something else for a second. You know what I mean? Because I'm like in your face and I have to dodge everything because I have no health. I don't have shields. I'm just...
In the early game, I love using all the summons where you're just like, why did they put this in the game? It's like 6 nobles and they have like torches
Yeah.
and they're swinging with torches and they die in like one hit. It's like, I love using those to just see how much damage. Like, oh great, they took 1/20th of the boss's health down before they all died.
I like the
one thing
jellyfish.
I love the jellyfish.
I never
my
used the
first,
jellyfish.
My first playthrough was me beating, not Margit, the one after Margit. Godric. It was
Godric.
me beating Godric by what I did was I just
Melania, yeah. Sure,
also
her.
it was Malenia. I just summoned the
Melina
jellyfish,
and Malenia.
and then I just ran up to Godric and danced around him for like eternity because it'll eventually poison him. And every time he wanted to go hit the jellyfish, I'd just punch him in the back of the head.
So for me, early game, it was weird because I got hit by the wall early with Morgott is his name.
Dude, I killed that guy in like the first 15 minutes I played the game.
Yeah,
So I got
I
the,
literally
yeah.
sprinted there not knowing what I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm fighting a boss now.
I got to him and he hardwalled me, and I was like, okay, I'm bad at this game. Let me go do something else.
See, that's the thing about Souls games is they really like to hit you with the
And I
very early wall. And I didn't understand because obviously I've been playing Souls games for so long that he wasn't really a problem for me. And then I hear all these stories online about people who are like, yeah, so I hit the Margit wall. And,
Yeah,
and
that was
it kind
me.
of killed the game for me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well,
It hit
that
me.
kinda
It hit
sucks.
me, and I was like, all right, let me just go do something else then, and come back.
That's what I said. There's so much you can do before him.
Yeah.
How, like, I don't understand how that boss makes people quit.
There is like, yeah, you can go all the way south to the peninsula
The
and stuff
Weeping
like
Peninsula,
that.
yeah. That's when I eventually was like, all right, let me go south down here instead and, see what's going on. And I accidentally walked into Caelid. I'm like, oh, wow, a dog looked at me and I died. So I probably don't want to be here yet.
One of the coolest enemy designs, I think, is the like decaying dog dinosaur things. They're just so funny looking to me.
They're freaks of nature.
I do
I
remember.
hated all of Caelid.
I do also hate all of Caelid. I remember.
Except-
I spend the least amount of time in Caelid. Like when it was that point of the game, I just ran, beat up Radon, left.
The only things I liked about Caelid was I accidentally found the meteoric ore blade, and I used that until I got the moonlight
does have some cool
katana.
things in there.
And it was a really cool weapon. Before that, I actually used St. Trina's sword and just put guys to sleep, beating them to death.
You're hitting them.
Yeah, and they just fall asleep, and I'm like, this is a weird status effect, but okay.
Hey, take it easy.
But that and then the General Radon fight was incredible. I thought it was one of the most fun fights in the whole game. Mostly because I'm like, oh, let me summon like why am I able to summon like 8 dudes for this fight?
yeah.
Is this it's
say,
gonna
why
make
am
it's
I-
gonna make this fight too easy,
say
right? Then
why-
I get up there,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, he swiped and Alexander died in one hit. Oh no.
One of the people you can
Great
summon.
Jar.
One of the people you can summon, Patches.
Warrior Jar.
He like, I don't know if you looked, but if you summon Patches,
he-
he like takes
yeah.
10 steps and then just disconnects. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he just leaves. It says Patches has abandoned the fight.
That's funny. But yeah, that was a really fun fight. I didn't have to redo that fight as many times as I thought I was going to. Mostly because I got hard killed by when you take his health down the first time. It's like, oh, let me just turn into a meteor and then hit. I'm like, where'd this guy go?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm dead.
He jumped
Okay.
into the sky. Like the
There's a guy on YouTube called Info
Uh-huh.
YMFAH. He just cheeses. He makes videos and cheeses the game. He did a recent video where he beat the game level 1 souls and one shot every month.
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah, he was a level 1 soul and he one shot every month.
Interesting.
How is
Okay.
that possible?
There's a
Um,
series of glitches and other things. You can blame
Okay.
swap thing to have weapons with arcs they're not
That is
supposed to have.
okay.
That is the
That's
thing.
what
Like
I
this
imagine.
game has a little bit different like code and
No,
whatnot.
all the
So
ghosts like that. He's done it.
well, no, I was gonna say like to where we have like warp glitches and stuff now. Like jump off this certain part of the cliff,
There's always been-
and then you can.
There's always been wrong moves. From Dark Souls 1.
You can-
to Elden Ring.
I guess it just wasn't as popular because I don't remember, or I guess maybe I wasn't as into the scene then because
Not all of them are useful in speedrunning, so a lot of them are just glitches that exist.
just like factoids you would find on
Yeah.
a subreddit or something.
But yeah, I got hit by that for General Dawn the first time. I was like, okay, let me dodge that. And once I learned to dodge that, the fight was a little easier to manage.
I will
But the
admit-
first time that happened, I'm like, do I just
yeah.
time it when he hits and then my invincibility frames keep me? I'm like, nope, that didn't work either. So let me just, do I run out of the way?
No, the
So-
first time it happens, it really got me because he like jumps up.
Got
to the
me
sky.
good. It killed my
His
whole- it
health
killed
bar-
everyone.
His health bar disappears, and then it was like,
Did I win?
I'm like, what's going on here? And then this like orange glow, turn around, you're dead.
I think somebody else made a video where they buffed up summons. And
Yes.
summons.
I watched a couple of those
there's
videos
a few
too.
there's a few pacifist runs that are pretty
There's a
good.
couple runs too where guys will take some of the bosses in the game and then have those bosses fight all the bosses in the game to see who would win. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Once
Who
you
won?
get into like the code of the game, you can start summoning. Like I like watching the videos where it's like every NPC in the game in a battle royale.
There's a boss at the end of the game that does really well against almost everyone except the double Godskin enemy, which actually isn't two Godskin enemies. It's 4 of them that fight you at the same time. It's stupid. It may be the stupidest boss in the game. You know what I'm talking
It's 2
about?
at a time though, right?
It's 2 at a time,
And they can resurrect each other.
and they do resurrect each other. I haven't found a way to get around it.
They're
You
like-
might be able to get
they're
around
like
it.
the Throne Watcher and Defenders, but a lot
So,
worse.
the big fat Godskin guy with the S-Stock, so him, just more jacked.
I'm not sure if I've seen him yet.
He's
Have you
on,
seen the skinny one that goes Mr.
Warps.
Fantastic?
Yeah. He warps himself around, throws black fire.
Oh, are you talking about the
Godskin. They're
wearing-
little,
they're wearing-
Godskin
like, white
Apostle,
robes,
I
and
think
they
is what
throw
he's
black
called.
fire at you.
Yeah, and the other one looks like the Oogie Boogie Man from Nightmare Before Christmas.
The Michelin Man.
Yeah.
are you talking about those little like circle areas?
No, he's bigger. No,
No,
those are
not
the,
those.
not the Draggles.
They're,
no.
they're pretty. They're both bosses.
Yeah. So
And
the
then you
the
fight
first
them
one
later.
you would find on the way to a divine tower. I think between Stormvale and there's a divine tower either there or the one where Rhea Lucaria
Yeah.
is. There's a
You have to
there's a
climb
divine
a
tower, and then
huge
going to
tower.
one of those towers, that dude appears, and you're like, okay, we'll fight, and then he just eats you. So later in the
haven't found
game,
him.
later in the game, they reuse those bosses, but they just jack them up, and you fight both of them at the same time. And then when you kill one, they will resurrect the other one.
If you get extremely pissed, just remember you can sleep one of them and then just 1v1 the other one.
And I was like, no, double katanas.
Nah,
Let's go. I'm
wouldn't do that.
I'm gonna fight.
The case is surprisingly actually staggers like every enemy in just a
Really?
few charged strong attacks. Like it's actually ridiculous. Like
What
some
are
of the
you, like,
biggest
the
bosses.
Hulk?
Yeah, you're just like and one really cool thing is like when you dual wield it, it's 2 of them, and like the strong attack is just like a punch. But if you charge the strong attack, it does 2 punches. So I could see that really being interesting to use in like PvP. But I think the staggering in this game is like up to 1 million because everything gets
Yeah.
staggered in like a few hits, and it's really weird. It's off-putting. It's
Right.
like it's a
Man, half
It's
the
different.
people in PvP are such babies.
Yeah, I don't like PvP
It's
and
so
Souls games
disappointing.
altogether,
oh
just
no,
because it's
they're not. It's not usually good.
I
Yeah,
like the funny videos they do where they just do memes.
memes are always funny regardless of the game. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Mimi,
I'm not sure they're always funny.
okay.
They should be funny.
they
True.
should be funny.
But a lot of
Some of them are
times
very
it's just
annoying.
bad.
True, but yeah, outside of watching Bluey, Puppy Dog Pals, all the kid shows,
I was gonna ask if
I
these are,
did
like,
I did
kid
Elden
shows.
Ring, and that's pretty much it.
Bluey's
Bluey's
great.
amazing.
Bluey is great.
The 3rd season just came out this past week, and I don't think the whole season is out yet. 25 episodes are up on Disney Plus, and the past 2 seasons have been about 50 episodes. So I don't know if it's just a shorter season or if it's only half the season.
I think that's like the
But
worst part.
it's-
I've only
it's
seen like 2 episodes.
They're
but
they're incredible.
great.
They're really good. I think there's only been maybe 1 or 2 episodes where I'm like, this kind of fell flat, but for the most part, they come in, they do their thing. Classical music usually gets arranged throughout. It's cute, and you know that's that. And my daughter loves it.
My boy is still Kipper though.
Kipper.
Kipper.
The white one?
No, he's not in Bluey.
Oh.
It's a different kids show. Kipper the dog.
I don't think I've ever seen Kipper the dog.
Yeah, luckily,
A long time ago.
luckily I am around no children anymore because I remember when
you hate
my
children?
sister. Oh well, yeah, I hate children. But I
Okay.
remember when my sister was young. You in the living room, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is on.
Yep, that's
And I was
welcome
like-
to my life.
I was like, I hated that part of my life. Or you're watching, or she's begging, crying for you to come watch Frozen the movie with her.
I'm not there
Is there
yet.
something other than Frozen the movie that's called Frozen?
Frozen 2, the movie.
Yeah, Frozen 2.
You guys heard about High School Musical?
Frozen,
Musical,
like-
the series?
Nope,
I've-
she is not
I've
watching
heard of
any
it.
of that garbage.
What's your point? I've heard of it. What
We
was that? It just
we started watching the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. She
a
wasn't
new
as
one?
so it's called that. It came out in the late '80s, early '90s. First it was on
Okay.
ABC, and then it went to Disney Channel, or the other way
so
around.
like just like the one that I'm thinking of, pretty
Yeah.
much probably.
Yeah, it's we started watching that. She didn't like it as much, so we kind of dropped it. But she's really attached to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
When
to
are you gonna show her
Bluey.
Lord of the Rings?
At least Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Probably when she isn't scared of just standing with one hand holding something by herself. I can only imagine what an orc or goblin or
Just throw her in there.
whatever
See what
is
happens.
gonna
Right in the deep end of the pool.
gonna do. It's funny because when she was even littler, she would sit in her high chair and watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse on one of my screens, and on the other one, I would like, I'm gonna read something. I don't feel like reading something now. I'm gonna play Resident Evil, so I'm like playing Resident Evil on the other screen, and she's watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse on the other, and she's just watching. And I'm like, I don't know if this is affecting her at all. I don't know if I'm just destroying her psyche, but whatever.
Whatever you do, just don't let your kid go on YouTube.
Oh no.
Okay, thank God. There are some every parent.
She watches Warhammer stuff. My daughter is an absolute cyberbully, isn't she? Every time she gets up on Uncle's lap and starts slamming on that keyboard, just a new thing is discovered that Windows does a thing, and Eric's like, I don't know what on
Great.
earth she did this
Now
time.
my screen's upside down. Let me go to Google and find out.
How
to
did you
flip
even
my
get
screen.
this up here?
Have you ever?
Child over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever accidentally just hit a random key? Like that
Yes.
happens to me sometimes. I don't remember what it was. It like closed every tab on my computer, but I could still hear them and they were still running in the background. But like you could not pull them up.
Did it open up like a second desktop or something? And it hide it?
It was almost as if it created a copy of my computer and put me in it. And I could not, no matter what I did, access the tabs until I
That's
shut
funny.
down my computer and
That's
turned it
really-
back. Why would that be a feature?
It's really funny.
How did I find this feature? I like it, it's almost like something you would do if your kid said they wanted to go on the computer and you could just shut down all of your things and it put you in like a computer inside your computer, and I couldn't access anything I was doing no matter how hard I tried.
okay, so yesterday I was working with John and we were using my data collector and stuff. So
Muck chicken.
early in the morning, they had we were doing a stakeout, which was they had a previous file that they had to download onto my data collector, and so John's sitting there trying to use the stylus. So like, the stylus doesn't work on mine. And I was like, oh, well, how do you turn it on? I was like, I don't know. And so then Andy comes outside, and John's like asking Andy how to get the stylus to work. So Andy sits there for like 5 minutes trying to get the stylus to work. Then W pulls in, and Andy's like, oh, W will probably know how to do this. So W sits there for about 15 minutes trying to figure out how to get the stylus to work. And W's like, oh, Jerry will... And then Jerry drives up, and then W's like, oh, Jerry will have this done in like 5 seconds. Jerry walks over, and he's like, I've never seen this freaking thing in my life. So then Jerry, Andy, and W are all just sitting there. We're sitting there for like half an hour trying to get the stylus to work on my thing. And then W finally pulls out his phone and Googles it, and they get it in like 5 seconds. I'm like, what is happening?
Technology, man. That's crazy. Technology. But yeah, that's...
And then I don't think he ever used the stylus.
Of course.
It's always how it works. I need this thing. Never uses the thing.
But yeah, that's literally all of life right now. It's just children's shows, and I finished Elden Ring, and
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I almost went on a rant about how I hate like
Children.
the parents who just let
Oh,
their kids
YouTube?
surf an iPad all the
Yeah,
time. The
it's
internet
just-
is one of the most
Why don't we just
dangerous-
watch an
heinous,
episode of
evil. What we should watch it. I'm trying to think which one would be the best one.
Oh my god. I don't know why, like you just saying that, just like the other show my sister liked to watch a lot, which I hate with an absolute passion. Caillou.
I don't.
That's
heard
one
of
of
it.
the worst.
I don't know.
Caillou,
Never
it's like
heard of
this little spoiled bald kid who gets whatever he wants and he cries a lot. Like whenever he doesn't get his way, he's like,
So is that why your sister's
"That's why my sister's spoiled." That's what I'm gonna. He is literally. He's like the worst. He is the absolute worst child. He just if anything doesn't go his way, he just starts whining and crying until he gets his way, and then he gets his way. That's like reinforcing.
Yeah,
That's the tier list is like things you shouldn't let your
What's-
kids
what's the
watch.
comic
Caillou
strip?
and
Dennis
YouTube
the
are like
Menace?
right up at the top.
Dennis the Menace used to be a comic strip, and I think a show, and I think they made a movie or two out of
I
it
think
too.
yeah, they made quite a
right?
few properties off of Dennis the Menace.
But yeah, it kind of reminds me, I guess, of that a little bit. I don't know, I was never really into it.
He made video games.
He said menace, and that popped in my head.
He is a menace to society.
I keep telling my wife and Charlotte that when she starts getting a little bit older, all the old school stuff on Disney Plus, just like DuckTales is on there, Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, all the stuff that I kind of grew up watching. She's gonna watch. It's weird because like
You're gonna make her relive your childhood?
yes, I will live my
well,
childhood again through
because the childhood back then is a lot better than the
Like,
childhood now.
so, like,
do
I-
not let your kid watch.
I don't want to
modern
be
stuff.
that old dude who's like, back in the day our stuff was better, but I legitimately was like trying to find some of the newer stuff
I
that's
mean,
on there
most
and
new
screening
stuff
it.
is just trash.
It's not very good. Just straight up. It's
I'm
even
a map, I'm a map,
You think-
I'm a map,
now
I'm
we're
a
all
map,
gonna say,
I'm a
like-
map, I'm a map, I'm a map.
Now they're all gonna say like because we say this that we're just like we're just we hate like
But, like-
everything modern, but it's not true. Like,
but legit. So like, Puppy Dog Pals isn't my favorite, but that has more substance to it than like the new Mickey Mouse Funhouse. I do not like it nearly as much as Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
now in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse they made Toodles like talk and stuff. Now,
yeah,
right?
then like season 2
I
or
didn't
3.
really like that.
Yeah,
I've never seen any Mickey Mouse stuff.
Yeah, it's weird that I'm saying like, yeah, I like the OG Mickey Mouse Clubhouse
Yeah,
better. Before
I think
Toodles could
I think
talk.
so. Toodles got a face and can start talking.
Shut
I think
up,
it's
Toodles.
I think it's season 3.
It was just weird. Like it used to be this object that just kind of like
Yeah.
flew around and helped people out, and now it's like
But in Mickey Mouse
Don't
Funhouse,
entity.
it's just I don't know. It's,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's not educational in any way. The songs I don't think are as
They don't have like the problem solving anymore.
yeah, like none of that's
Like,
there.
That's
It-
the whole
it-
thing
it-
about Mickey Mouse
it's
Clubhouse
just
was you were
like-
supposed to pick what object would go in
It's
every
just like
problem.
oh, random black mermaid is coming up, and we're making everybody have clean water. Yay, we saved the day. And I'm just like, what?
What does that have to do with Mickey Mouse?
Precisely, right?
Yeah, like the old show. They it was a nice gimmick for like a kid show and for like learning.
Right,
You
exactly.
introduce 4 objects that can help in certain
And then
scenarios.
how can we
and
use
then as
this?
the scenarios come up, you pick which
And
object
obviously,
would-
if it's foggy outside, you're going to use the deck of cards to blow all the fog away, right? And if you're trying to walk to where your house is and there's a
And
puddle,
I thought Emperor's New Groove.
and, you
I
were,
didn't
and,
think
and there's a
so.
puddle, you
I
are
didn't
clearly going to use the marshmallow
Sometimes
to
it-
make an island to jump on to
sometimes it
get to your
didn't make
house,
sense.
right? But for the most part, it's
for the
yeah,
most
problem
part, it was
solving
like
and trying
a
to think
ladder,
outside.
and
Yeah.
we're gonna use the ladder to climb the tree.
Mickey Mouse
Sometimes it
Funhouse.
got
Mickey Mouse
stupid.
Funhouse has none of that stuff. It's like in the middle of it. It's like, all right, stretch break, and then we're gonna go save the world
7-minute
again.
stretch?
Did they get rid of the hot dog like ending?
So that is
the end
gone,
of
and
every
now it's
episode, they-
wiggle giggle giggle. Oh wiggle, it's some different song. Yeah, but I think
can't take away.
during the show, I think in one of the episodes during the season, they do a remix of the hot dog
now
song,
we're
but it's
gonna
not
be-
nearly the same as it
We're
used
gonna
to
be copyright struck.
I don't know what kind of remix, but it's different. But yeah, I don't like Mickey Mouse Funhouse nearly as much. They did a race track car show kind of afterwards as well. Didn't like that one as much. They have like this Disney
think
nursery
mod- just
rhymes
think
kind of
modern kid
thing
shows
on
aren't
there
that
as
good.
well. And all the nursery rhymes, they're like the same lyrics we know growing up, but the songs are different. Like they remix the songs. So you would
But
be
why?
listening to like London Bridge is Falling Down, and it's yeah, I'll show you when this is all done. I'll show
I don't
and-
wanna know.
and you'll just
No.
be like, this isn't the Itsy Bitsy Spider.
I won't listen.
I do not want my daughter to know this is Itsy Bitsy Spider. So just stuff like that is just really weird. And then they intentionally, it's like, oh look, the redhead girl with one arm in the wheelchair is coming up to sing Itsy
That's
Bitsy Spider with a
racist.
radioactive spider that just came out of Chernobyl or something. Yay, let's sing the
That's
song.
racist.
And I'm just like,
No,
why does this exist?
It's inclusive, Ben.
Winnie
No,
the
that's
Pooh
racist.
was
that's my favorite part about like companies nowadays. Like one thing that came out about Blizzard was like they had a chart of like different like
Yeah, I know, I saw that
inclusivity.
chart.
Yeah, it's like we can get the most amount of brownie points with the internet.
So-
if we get a crippled black woman.
So
to be
a lot of the
star
Disney
this-
Plus-
It's like you can do that, but why did it have to be a chart? And why
So-
is it based on points?
So a lot of the new stuff that's coming out on Disney, at least for the children, a lot of it isn't as blatant and overt, but a lot of that stuff is definitely there. But regardless of that, the material itself is just not very good. Like the songs
Really
aren't
quick
good.
question: is Wesker ever a black person in the games in
Like,
Resident Evil?
Wesker's a white dude.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, is he black in the
Yeah,
new-
he's
In
black
the
in
in
the
the
show.
Netflix show, he's a
They
black
say-
man,
they
and I'm
say,
like,
though, what they're telling you is, in the show they made it so that they think that he's like a clone of Wesker. But I don't know how.
well, I haven't gotten to that part yet. Okay.
I thought they revealed that pretty early in the show.
I mean, I've seen like 4 episodes.
Maybe I think you might have just missed.
I mean, they say he should be dead, but they haven't like gotten to.
I haven't. I've watched like the first episode and then got a few like things on the internet.
So
about,
Chase will back me up on this. Anybody right now, you're probably not going to get this
Oh, yeah,
episode in
Wesker's not
time.
black.
Anybody right now who has a PC that doesn't have any Resident Evil, Humble Bundle, Resident Evil Bundle, you can literally get every Resident Evil for like $20. All of them.
I think
you can get 0 and the HD remake of
I
the
think I
first one.
got
You can
that
get the
actually a long
HD
time
remake of the second and third one. You can get HD fourth one. You can get the fifth gold one. You can get 6. I'll show you afterwards. Literally every Resident Evil up until the newly released DLC for 7, which isn't out yet, and I think 6 doesn't have the DLC, and then they don't have the first Revelations. I think they have one story mode in the second one, but otherwise, pretty much the mainline Resident Evils are there for like $20. Go and get it.
I think I
With that being said,
well, now I feel like I missed out. Because
I don't know what I wanted to make on this point,
Pizza
other than Wesker isn't the black dude, and
time.
Wesker is the greatest mustache villain.
he's
Wait, he's
supposed
got a
to-
mustache?
'cause he's-
No, but
no, but
you know what I
like, the
mean.
Oh,
generic,
okay.
Like
Okay,
I
yeah.
am the bad.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Like he's
It's so cool. So
he's like
I-
super Nazi.
So I don't know what Netflix is trying to do with him, but Wesker isn't supposed to be taken seriously. But like he's just
I just
the
saw-
maniacal guy in the background
I
who's
s-
like, "Oh, you have tried to foil me again, but you've activated my trap card. I'm actually a demon." or
I
something.
refuse
Something
to
like that.
even give the light. Like I refuse to even entertain the idea that I would watch a Netflix show based on a property I liked that already exists, like Resident Evil and Halo and like all that stuff.
Halo is
I've
Paramount, right?
never,
Or the Death
I've never
Note
done
movie.
anything about data.
Isn't
Dota
the Halo
2.
series Paramount?
It is. Normal.
Oh well, that's great. So multiple companies suck.
Why you say so?
Why you what? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
man.
do.
Because he
your problem.
corrected me, and now my view of the world is worse because multiple companies screw up so.
Well, do you even have
terrible.
Paramount Plus?
Who has Paramount Plus?
I
Are they
don't
the
know.
same people who got CNN Plus?
My mom probably.
You
has
mean that
Paramount
Plus show
I
that
was
got
happy-
shut down in like a week?
Oops.
Because nobody watches CNN.
Oops. But yeah, I don't. Is there anything on Paramount Plus?
Halo.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't paying attention to the conversation at all.
SpongeBob is a Paramount property.
Oh.
Eventually, once you go down enough trails.
But the Sonic movies are still on Hulu.
Yeah, that,
At least the first one, right?
I don't know if it's on Hulu, but I know
I don't
it's
either.
an exclusive.
You can get anything from Nickelodeon on Paramount.
I don't watch Nickelodeon either. New Nickelodeon, it's absolute
No,
garbage.
no. New Nickelodeon, new Cartoon Network, new those things don't exist in my mind. Like,
Yes.
like yeah, well, they still air SpongeBob, and
Hey guys.
it's like not the same.
Guys.
It's not
Is it?
terrible.
It's pizza time.
Is it pizza time?
It's pizza time.
I've been your host, the turtle Leonardo. Clear to
And
my
there
right has been
goes
Raphael.
Michelangelo. Oh, I was gonna call
Yeah,
him
he can be
Michelangelo.
both of them because in the middle's Donatello. We're gonna go get some pizza.
I don't know what any of that meant.
Okay. Purple, blue, orange, and red.
Oh boy. Got another one. Crazy. Thanks for watching BakaTaka. Another one soon. Peace.
Well, I kind of want to be orange. Oh wait, I'm the one wearing blue. Why am I purple?
Hey, go get pizza.
Ow.